Yo, what's up? What's up, guys? I don't even know what to call my YouTube channel. I guess I'll call it Midnight's Castle. So yeah. I was planning to make a YouTube video today. I recorded like this 18-minute long voice note when I was in my bed, kind of disoriented, about how I broke my whole setup over cricket. So I did like film some stuff in real life, and I was gonna use that for the video. But then I realized I did not I did some time lapses and all that to keep it short. I was like, oh, that might be too boring. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to either get non-copyrighted gameplay, or when I do fix my PC, hopefully it doesn't cost anything or it doesn't cost too much. Hopefully it's free. I'm gonna attempt to fix it right now. Everything looks perfectly fine to me. So I'm not sure if something slipped, if something broke. I hope that my CPU and all that is fine. You know what I mean? So you just have to hope for the best. So yeah, guys, positive thoughts, positive thoughts. See, I didn't make that video, but I do want to. So I will in the future. But I was in the shower and I was looking thinking about actually like the person I'm becoming. You know what I mean? I've been around some very open-minded, cool people, and they for sure open my eyes over time by literally just being themselves. Just talking, just having fun, just connecting with human beings. And I was like, damn, bro, I'm really lucky. I'm really happy to actually have like friends that like I really like talking to, being around. Like I relate to them on some like deep shit. It's like a luxury and it's like beautiful, truly. So yeah, thinking about that, you know, and then I was also thinking about like over time I learned to disassociate my thoughts and opinions and all that with like things that happen in my life and like things with other people. So I've learned to be like relatively neutral. Now once again, I'm just like I'm human, right? So I have some biases naturally from childhood, personal bias, whatever the case may be. I have my biases and I have my flaws in terms of like that area. And I can admit that it's true. And I'd say that's okay. I'd say that's okay. Can't I don't know hold myself to like a standard of being perfect, whatever the case may be. Because the standard you hold yourself to is the standard you judge others by. This is not something I really took in a lot before, but I low-key realized it was very true, because I would talk bad about myself and view myself in a negative light sometimes, even over like small things. I would say a lot of this came from like me in childhood, like when my parents would like tell me certain things about myself. I would like believe that was the case. Like I believe that was me. So yeah, and they would tell me stuff like my dad, like when it came to certain things, like he's not a bad guy, but when it came to certain things, like certain situations, and I'd be like, I understand where you're coming from, but I don't really like relate or understand like to what you're saying. He'd be like, oh, you're not special, you're just like everybody else. And I didn't really take that in. Like I still don't like take it on. Like I'm just me. I mean, not saying like I'm special, I have any like extraordinary skill or talent, anything of the sort, but like I'm me. You know what I mean? And that doesn't mean like I'm special or whatever. That literally just means I'm me. And like same goes for anybody else. Everybody is their own person. Everybody has their own experiences. And it's really common sense. That's something I can't really have to say. But I guess it's like something kind of hard to grasp sometimes. Like when you look at somebody, you don't like automatically start doing a deep dive or thinking about their whole life. You don't start thinking about their childhood. Like, oh, I wonder what this person's experience was, or whatever the case may be. Like, I literally just found out today, because of TikTok, I was like scrolling, and I saw Fable 3, Infamous, Prototype, and some other games on PS3, right? And these games were like some of my favorite games growing up. Like I really loved that shit. I love being on the PS3. If I could, I'm for sure gonna get a PS3 and I'm gonna like speedrun games with my friends, and I'm gonna post all that on YouTube just for fun. And like they're this friend, and well, I hadn't spoken to him in a really long time. Not because I have anything, but like we just naturally kind of grew up at school and everything. Everybody's busy. Everybody has like their own things to do, and we just kind of naturally grew up at. And I was cool with that. But we did have an argument one time. About something kind of like petty, kind of small. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, bro, I understand his perspective. Like he's not a bad guy, And what he said, I didn't really like the way he said it. And he was kind of rude about it too. But I understand now. He did it out of like a place of like genuine friendship. He didn't do it to hate or anything like that. He did come off very disrespectful, but I understand it. You know what I mean? Man to man. And that's I understand it now. So it's cool. I messaged him. I was like, yo, we should like hang out again sometime, like the three of us, Like the trio should get back together. Because like I really like those times hanging out. So I was like, that's cool. I know that I've adopted this like neutral perspective. Like I don't even feel like any way about that. Like I'm very, calm about it. I'm cool about that now. It's like I'm able to like think logically and clearly, even in this situation like goes against my own ideologies. Because speaking to people like parents, whatever the case may be, sometimes they try to talk to you, try to communicate, so they can understand where you're headed at, where you're thinking, but they're so biased and they're not willing to admit their bias, and also not willing to like truly listen. So it's like very hard to communicate with them. Like one thing I've realized about communicating with my parents, especially, is like I could speak and like they genuinely would not be listening to anything I'm saying until I see something like kind of drastic or something that they don't like. Like my mom was saying, like, what's your problem? I was telling her I don't have a problem at all, and that's the truth. Like I've learned to move on and accept her for who she is. And when I say she can't change or anything like that, but like I've learned to accept that. It's not something I don't expect anything from them or from her. No kind of change, because I know that it's not something that would just come that easily for them. But if they want to, I wouldn't be opposed to it, of course, because that would be to my benefit. But like, I realized communication with my parents, I kind of have to be like drastic to catch their attention, and then they would listen to what I say. So if I'm speaking to my mom or dad, I need to find a way to be like kind of drastic, say something, just to catch their attention, something that they might consider rude or disrespectful, whatever the case may be. But like, if it catches their attention, then what I did worked. So I mean, if it works, it works. See, I realize that's something I might have to do and learn to adopt. If I could like learn to slip in certain hypotheticals that might walks along a gray area. But if it catches your attention and it works, then a win is a win. At the end of the day. So yeah. That's really how it be sometimes. So. Yeah, I'm actually, proud of the person I'm becoming. And I starting to like myself, and I appreciate being put in spaces and having the opportunity to communicate and just hang with some like genuinely cool, real down to it people. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's like a generation thing or like just a people thing, but a lot of people are, very, evil in the world, negative, and not fake. I wanna say fake, like they genuinely, it's scary. Like you can't predict them. Oh, sorry, my fault, guys. You can't like predict them. You don't know what's gonna happen. Like you don't know how something gonna change. Like you could have a really close friend, and they could really just disappear like that. You know. And honestly, I've learned to accept that. You say, okay, that's cool. But then when you find those people that genuinely cool and stick with you, keep them, stay with them. And there have been other cool people in my life as well, but I didn't really, find much interest in talking to them or being around them. Not because they were bad or anything like that. We just weren't like compatible, personality wise. In like my opinion, I didn't really enjoy being around them the most. But I can't lie, they were solid and are solid human beings. And even though I wasn't able to truly admire and, you know, appreciate their existence, somebody will. And that's okay. Because, like, those people who like really good people. And it's like, damn, you kind of feel bad for not really wanting to talk to them or not, hanging with them or whatever the case may be. But then, that's just really not your crowd. And that's just what it is. That's just what it is. And hey, don't feel guilty for being you. Don't feel guilty for not enjoying something you just don't enjoy. Don't feel guilty, because the truth of the matter is, you being yourself is the best thing you can do in the world. Not for anybody else, but like for you. Some people, you find certain behaviors and traits like this kind of narcissistic to see, but at the end of the day, you are the one living your life, and you have to really appreciate and enjoy that as much as you could. Don't be like reckless and all that, but like enjoy it, because you're literally the only one who could enjoy your life as much as you could. So don't feel entitled to do certain things. Do what you want to do while you could do it now, so you don't regret it later. And if you do regret something, it's never too late, okay? You could be 70 years old, and if you wanted to start a business at 20, start that business at 70. It doesn't matter, because life, life is a game. It's really a game, and it just depends on how you play it. For some it's an RPG, for some it's an open world, and for some it's a fighting game. It just depends on what you do. And I don't mean that like literally, like fighting games, so go in the UFC or box or whatever. I mean, it could be literal if that's what you want to do, or it could not. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is your life. So you do what makes you happy. Everybody says shit like that, and don't people be like, oh, do a job you really love and you might enjoy. But what if you don't like any jobs and hate working? Probably just don't work, or don't get a job, or just do anything else. Yes, one thing I've learned is like, look, they always have a way out. They always have a way to do something. So, I'm gonna figure it out step by step, slowly. And one day I will, bro. One day I will. And I might post this audio to some gameplay, even I recorded footage of me in real life. I might change it to like a gameplay thing overall. But yeah, have a good night. I'm tired. Hope you'll sleep well.